everybody, and welcome back once again. Another edition of Inside the Headset, Week 3, Game 4. I'm with the head coach of the Riverdale Warriors. Coach, last week played a pretty tough Blackman football squad, and they are ranked, and there's probably a reason why, and I'll let you go on with some of the talent they got on the other side of that ball.
You said it all. They got a very good football team. They're senior laden, and they should have a good year. So we're just overmatched.
Right now, what's been going on with the Riverdale Warriors? Of course, you exchange video, and then we'll talk about East Hamilton and everything. But what's been going on over here at the reservation, most of all?
Just trying to get better each and every day.
Just trying to get better each and every day. Going up against East Hamilton. Let's talk about, I guess the biggest thing is, and most people are aware of it, big white elephant. You're 0-3, but that hasn't been a true test because your team is not as mature yet. You're playing some of the best competition, so kind of out of the gate, it's like you're running against a Seattle Slew or a Secretariat right off the bat, and it's kind of tough to play against that. But this team Friday night, they're 3-0. Coach Gatewood, 20 years experience. Talk a little bit about East Hamilton and the Hurricanes.
Well, it's a new school, but it's in a good area, and they have gone through a process of building, and I think they were 3 or 4 rounds. I think 3 rounds deep last year in the 4A classification. And they're going to be one of the bigger schools in the Chattanooga area. And you're right, Ted does a great job, and they're 3-0, and they beat some quality football teams, and they're actually a senior laden team.
I saw that.
But about 2 or 3 guys they have are seniors. So, what we're trying to tell our group, some are listening, some are not, that the worst part of our schedule seems to be the front end, and I would assume that East Hamilton's one of the top teams in the 5A ranks, and we know that Blackman and Oakland are 2 of the best teams, quite possibly in the state. They may be two of the top 5 teams in the state. So, kids nowadays are in this, want satisfaction right now, but you got to pay dues, and these teams that we're playing have not had great years, but some of their kids stayed the course, and that's just what you have to do. And eventually the schedule may give us a break, and by the time it does, we've got to be better.
Couldn't have said it better, took it right out of my mouth. I mean, the first thing I think of is, and this is to the fans and to anybody, this isn't the Rotary Club. I mean, this isn't something, you're not running the easy bake oven. I mean, and I don't mean to be comical, but the bottom line is, I get frustrated. I have a child. Everybody gets frustrated. But, if everybody was perfect, parents and everything, they would suit up regardless if it was a Riverdale uniform or a Blackman uniform and come out and play. But, it is a struggle just trying to keep them motivated and on the same subject and geared, I guess, for 2 hours a day, much less you've been with them. But, golly, since game 1, has there been some improvement in some areas?
Oh, yeah, there's been vast improvement. It's just that the competition we're playing doesn't allow us to show that, At times it does, You're right. It's not a play league. It's an awfully tough league, and we're playing a lot of young people, and we're going to tend to play more. All we're asking for is a great effort like we've always asked. Unfortunately, in today's society, kids hear a lot of things that, and people just in general, humans in general, tend to believe what they hear, and it's hard for kids to fight through that and just say, look, we're going to believe in ourselves and do the things that we need to do. So, but eventually things will work out for them.
Well, memory seasons and looking back, you've had a lot of football teams in your fingertips. These rough and rocky starts, haven't some of them turned around and been some whale of the seasons that you can say, I can remember, I can tell you right now.
Well, 30 plus years, you can always look back on seasons that were on the brink, as they say, and you either made the play and here's the game that keep that turnaround and keep that success, or here's the game that broke the season. So. This season they're kind of like soap operas sometimes. They're going to play out one way or the other.
Right.
And, unfortunately, as a coaching staff, we'll do everything we can, but it becomes the nucleus of your squad and leadership or character that are going to determine what the script is written, how the script is written.
As I said before, you say, okay, guys, here's the map and the compass. We'll call the shots. We're going to tell you exactly what to do. But if you don't give 100% effort, and then they have to be held accountable themselves and look themselves in the mirror and say, did I give it not only just enough to get my job done, Coach, but I'm talking about a little more, that 5:15 effort, or that if it's off 5 o'clock or the 5:30, the extra little bit.
Well, football is a team game. It's not a me game, and again, society kind of dictates that individual success and individual look at me, that type thing, and that's hard to fight in society. But that's why football's still a great game, and
still the most complicated game to play.
Well, it's the toughest and it's the best game there is, and that's an opinion. Obviously, there'll be people that argue with me, but it's a game that's going to teach you one way or another. You can knock your head against a hard wall, but it's going to eventually teach you teamwork. And if you don't have teamwork and team camaraderie, then you're not going to do the things you want to do in football.
Any messages or anything to the parents, and how are you injury-wise? I hate to do a double question on you, but how are you?
I mean, we're going to show up and play every week. We've got a few banged and bruised, and nothing probably any more than anybody else does. We'll have some kids. We got some kids coming back. We got some kids down, and we're okay health-wise.
Quarterback getting a little bit more relaxed as he works.
He's only going to get better. Only going to get better.
But
it's really not fair to him to have to thrust him into this position. But
it's death by fire. It's OJT if there ever was one.
Yeah. I was asked today by a reporter, when the last time, to my knowledge, it was Eric Locke the last time a freshman quarterback played. Of course, Eric had an outstanding quartet of players, not quartet, whole team. I'm an Army, 15. They were 15-0 that year, so I think it was 97. No, 94. But anyway, we don't have that caliber of team right now. So Gene's doing everything he can. So.
Well, and here's the thing, I don't care what offense you run or what defense you run. If you don't have the right players,
right.
You can run the same offense Eagles running, but that's not the answer. That don't make any difference. I mean, running
schematically speaking, we're fine what we're doing. We just got to do it better, and we're playing people right now. The last 3 weeks, maybe the last 3 weeks, Bradley excluded. We were in that game and had our shots to win.
I was getting ready to say.
But the two teams we played in our district certainly were better football teams than us at this point. So we'll fight and try to get better. And I see improvement.
I mean, if you had Shad's cards or Tommy's cards in your hand, you could be.
Well, we've had players and played them and beat those two schools, so we know what it's like to have seniors and experienced quarterbacks and that kind of thing. So it's just part of the game in high school.
7 o'clock right here.
7 o'clock here.
You're looking for a gate. You need it to pay for it.
We do that. The kids need support. That's the biggest thing.
Hey, and as long as they
set
grow
money
up,
aside, it's not about money. It's about the kids.
But it takes money to do it, and I know, and I come out here, and I appreciate you doing the conference call with me last week because I was on the road. That shows that you're willing to stick with me, but I appreciate it, and I get to come out here and watch every week, and people ought to know. It's a lot of effort on the kids. It's a lot of time management. It takes 2.5, 3 hours. Let's say it takes 3 hours, it's 4 hours out of their day. Then they got to go home and get something to eat and study and get ready to go do it again. And it's not an easy schedule, but that's what separates a football player from the rest of Riverdale class. And I'm not being mean to the other people.
Even squads that have 100+, that's still a very, very small minority of your student body. And that's exactly right. It's a big price to pay. Of course, that's any athletic team, but football is a little bit different. In that it's a much more physical and mentally demanding game. So, they choose to do it, and it's a great game, and it'll teach them great life lessons.
7 o'clock here, Friday night, the reservation, as the Hurricanes and the Warriors. So y'all come out.